had so many blocks because my being abused and coming from from like a working class background where your perceptions are quite small, work in a factory, retire at 60 and all that kind of thing. I had lots of perceptions that needed to be that fed lots of ambitions and lots of need for validation, lots of need for people to like my work. So I had to clear all that. I had to get rid of all of that stuff over a period of time because all of that blocks light. All of those are small perceptions. The need to make a lot of money, the need to be validated, the need to be famous, the need to win awards, the need for people to like you, the need for people to acknowledge you. It's all nonsense. But that was very real to me. They were the perceptions that my parasite fed from. So over a period of time, I was led to dissolve those perceptions, break them down into the component parts, and empower bigger perceptions. So the moment you remove an ignorance or an old perception, a new perception comes in and you just suddenly see more. So instead of just seeing this tiny little bit here, I can see the whole table. Instead of seeing the whole table, I can see the whole room.
And how did you feel after seeing the film, the finished product?
Everything about that film was painful, but also beautiful, because I'm where I am now because of it. I mean, you look at me now, my mum says to me, you're too skinny, get down that doctor's. Because all of the weight I was carrying, all the muscle, all the fat I was carrying, I was up about 16 stone at one point, was all of the stuff that was feeding the parasite. I was greedy with my food, I was greedy with my ambition, I was greedy with making money, I was greedy with the need for validation. That's gone. I'm not saying it's not a threat, it's always trying to get back in. But when I removed that, my body shrank. So as my consciousness expanded, my body physically shrank. I didn't need all that armor. I'm not bothered about what I eat. I'm bothered about what I'm feeding. What am I feeding? So all this ambition I had, all this need for validation was feeding the parasite. When I got rid of the parasite, the lion starves, as they say, for want of prey. So I contracted in physically and expanded in consciousness. As I expanded in consciousness, I was just able to see more. So I was thinking, I don't need to worry about me, the personality Geoff Thompson, and about whether I'm validated. I don't even need to worry about, my family or my house, or I don't really particularly need to worry about the planet. I need to be thinking much bigger than that. This planet, I was taken out of my body the other day in meditation. I was taken out of my body and I was placed in space. And I was placed in this part in space where I was able to put my thumb out and block out the whole of the earth. And then it was removed a bit further back till the earth was just a seed, and then a bit further back until the earth disappeared. He's saying to me, you've got to think bigger than the earth, bigger than the planet. This planet, what you do on this planet affects the universe, affects the cosmos. So we've got to start thinking, that's perception. Perception is about going, I'm not trying to fix an insoluble world. I'm trying to have an effect on the whole universe, because everything affects everything. So it's kind of saying, forget about these small stories. Forget about your class, your colour, your culture, your wound. Forget about that. Just use that as a tracer. They're good. If my story is if I've got a painful story, that story is the cross that marks where the treasure is. I can follow that story back until I reach what it's covering up, which is my light. Once I open the light, which is what we call waking up, that light can start to gradually expand and all that dissolves. Then I start to ask myself, not how can I serve me, or how can I serve my family, or how can I serve mankind? It's too small. How can I serve God? God is omniscient, he's omnipotent, he's omnipresent. So if I ask, how can I serve you? Then I'm serving everything else as well. It's not that these things aren't important. It's just that we can get past them. So these blockages stop light from coming in. So if I can remove those blockages, if I can remove the whole, what's in this for me, how's this going to serve me? If I can remove selfishness and replace it with selflessness, then I've got an expanded consciousness. And in the Zohar, in the Judaic tree of life, This is the, they call it the lurking variable, the hidden variable. The secret to perpetual motion, the secret to abundance, is to stop thinking about yourself. It's too small and it blocks light. And if you do get light, it's going to come in and it's going to leak everywhere. This is about recognizing that if I can genuinely find a place of wanting to serve God, wanting to serve everybody through God, then I'm in a place where I'm going to receive light, I'm going to conserve light, I'm going to train light and expand it and deepen it and into all of its detail until this abstract idea becomes an articulated certainty. And then I'm going to put that out into the world. I'm going to impose it on the world. Whether I impose that, through my martial art as a single punch, or whether I impose that through a book, or I'll impose it wherever God asks me to impose it.
Through a film.
Through a film, which is what we were talking
romance,
about.
Retaliation.
So all the early stuff, all the films, that was not about me trying to make a living, although that might have been on my mind. It was about me
expressing
individuating
yourself.
all of this stuff, cleaning. It's just about cleaning. It was about removing everything, all the layers, so that I could look at them and go to the light, find the unwounded part, find the part that has not been soiled. And then once you find that, that becomes your teacher.